Hello, my name is Jamie Ervin, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. The work accomplished during this session is precisely what we dreamed of when we began this process nearly 8 months ago. Your work and collaboration here today represents a culmination of all the work we have collectively accomplished during this time. Today, I'd like to reflect on the steps we've followed, the outcomes we've seen, and the next steps for the project. To do this, I'll walk us through our recipe for creating the essential life support area map. I'd like to reflect on all that we have accomplished together and point the way toward the next steps. During our first workshop together, we identified priority policy targets that we'd like to achieve through the ELSA mapping process. These targets related to the intersection of nature, climate, and sustainable development. During our data working group, we identified a wealth of national data that can help us map these priority targets. The group identified diverse national data holders and data sets that would be important in the ELSA mapping process. We also explored the many global data layers available through the UN Biodiversity Lab. Between the first and second workshops, the project team worked to secure access to the national data layers so we could include them in the data sessions. We then weighted each data set included in the analyses based on 2 criteria. First, your expert opinion on the quality of the data layer, and second, your opinion about the importance of the target relative to the other targets. As you probably remember, each of the data layers we reviewed served as a proxy for the priority targets identified for your country. We then asked you, the national experts, to provide us with your comments on these maps. This step helped us validate these initial results and helped us revise as needed before moving on to produce the action maps. Our conversations during the first workshop helped us understand more about your area-based targets for protection, management, and restoration of ecosystems. Using these insights, the science team used best available data to map where each action was possible. This zoning guided the analyses that we were able to conduct. We then worked with you to set parameters for the optimization model by determining what weight we wanted to give each of the spatial data sets based on the priority of each policy target. Using the Prioritize-R software, we were able to create an ELSA action map. The second iteration of the ELSA map, based on your expert opinion, shows where actions to protect, manage, and restore nature can result in the best outcomes for your priority policy targets. So now that we have a final ELSA map, what's next? The 9th step in this process is to take action and monitor results. But what does this practically mean? Based on the results from our workshop, our core team will work with our country office to produce a policymaker's brief on ELSA implementation. This will include a briefing note on, for example, what is a map of essential life support areas? What process did we follow? What are the results for your country? What will be achieved if these actions are taken? And how can the ELSA mapping process connect to establish projects and initiatives in your country? We'll make the ELSA web tool available in early 2021 to enable continued co-creation and revision of your ELSA map. We also look forward to exploring opportunities for collaboration in the transition from an ELSA map to a concrete implementation roadmap. Finally, once we have moved from map to implementation, we'd like to share with you how dynamic data and metrics from Impact Observatory can help track the impacts of implementing your ELSA action map. Over the next year, we'd like to support you to help showcase your work in key international venues and through articles and blogs. We already had the opportunity to share your work during the Nature for Life Hub on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly this year. In the coming year, we'll work with the national team to share these important results through meetings with the Convention on Biological Diversity and the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. We believe it's essential to showcase the achievements of the pilot countries and to explore how mapping essential life support areas can play a key role in development and implementation of the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. We are so excited to continue this important work with you. I want to express my deep thanks to all of our colleagues at the UNDP Country Office and to the science team who have made this work possible. Similarly, we could not have done this without you, our participants, and our national experts. We look forward to continuing to explore with you how our essential life support area mapping process can help support implementation of your key projects on the ground. Thanks so much.